Good evening. I so wish I could be there with you tonight. As you hear this, I'm in Carmel Valley, California. Every November, our family gathers here for Thanksgiving, and it's a tradition that's become very precious to me. But tonight, I want to talk with you about my other family, the staff, fellow board members, and supporters of the Institute for Public Service Reporting here at the university. This amazing group is why I'm here in spirit with you tonight. Their devotion to investigative journalism, to holding the powerful accountable, and really safeguarding our democracy is so inspiring. It's their passion that motivates me. It's why I've given so much of my time these past 5 years as a volunteer board member. Together, we've built this small startup news organization into a major voice for the voiceless. Unlike some, the Institute isn't afraid to pursue that old journalistic value of afflicting the comfortable and comforting the afflicted. You see it in our reporting, our recent series on the rise in child deaths amid an explosion of firearms in Tennessee, in our reporting on racial injustice, police brutality, and child poverty. I'm so proud of everyone in this organization. Together, we share this incredible award that I've been so fortunate to receive, the Herbert Lee Williams Award, named for the first chair of the University of Memphis's Department of Journalism and Strategic Media. So how did this happen? How did I get involved with the Institute? I sometimes ask myself that question. You know, my background is in music and business, not journalism. But some 5 years ago, I was slowly winding down my business and cruising toward retirement. Then I got a call, or multiple calls, I should say. One came from Louis Graham, the former editor at the Commercial Appeal and the Institute's first chairman. He asked me to join the advisory board. So did Mark Pereskia, the Institute's director. I got to know both Louis and Mark at the Commercial Appeal when I was a member of the pursuit team for the Memphis Grizzlies. In fact, I worked with many journalists then, as I was interviewed almost 300 times before it was all said and done. But what really made me say yes was my work with Mark. I used to quip that you never want to get a call from Mark Pereskia because whatever you've ever done wrong, he was already on your trail and it would come to light. But in 2018, I saw another side of him. He wrote a touching story for the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination about a concert choir from historically black Prairie View A&M University. This choir had sung for Dr. King in Memphis just days before he was killed, and the stories of the surviving members of this choir were so moving. I worked with Mark to reassemble them, to perform at the Memphis Symphony's salute to the 1968 striking sanitation workers. They sang a chilling and heartfelt rendition of Randall Thompson's Alleluia. They earned a standing ovation, and it was a moment I'll never forget. Journalism can be beautiful. When done right, it can also expose the best and the worst in us, the corruption and social ills that need reform, the pain that needs healing, the wrongs that must be righted. It isn't always clear how to fix our problems, but good journalism sheds light and helps us find our way. One thing is for certain, journalism has been in decline in Memphis and across America for decades. In 2003, the Commercial Appeal had more than 200 people working in its news operations. Now there are as few as 100 working on television, radio, print, digital, and all the platforms in Memphis today. We must find a way to reverse this. As the Washington Post says under its masthead, democracy dies in darkness. We're hard at work at the Institute for Public Service Reporting, trying to reverse this troubling trend, and it hasn't always been easy. We've faced tremendous political and financial challenges. But the opportunity for me to work side by side with some of the best in the business has been perhaps the pinnacle of my life's work. People like Otis Sanford, our chair and my dear friend, one of the most respected journalists in Memphis, Mark Paraskia, one of the best investigative journalists in the country, our beloved David Waters, certainly one of the best writers Memphis has ever produced, and now the young and brilliant Laura Kibita Chumasi is producing new and powerful work that is groundbreaking. With your help, we'll get there. I'd like to thank Jerome Wright and the U of M Journalism Alumni Association for this magnificent award, along with the Department of Journalism and Strategic Media and the University Administration. A big thank also to all of you, our friends, and the many supporters of journalism who've made this possible. Thank you. God bless. Thanks for honoring me. Have fun and have a good night.